Hi guys, Archie Luxury channel, and today guys I want to make a video here for two really cool fans. I've got two really cool fans in America, and both of these guys are really cool. I had a bit of a chat to them this afternoon. They're both Catholic priests, and they're really cool guys, really cool. Father Richard and Father Jarlath, Irish. And I was having a talk to them. Both these guys here are priests, and they like horology. And Father Richard's got the IWC 3777, and he's also got the JEWELLERY Reserve. He's got the most beautiful dress watch, Reserve de la Match, and it's quite a cool piece. But he was saying to me, what's a really good watch for his friend to get into? And he was obviously saying Rolex. And this is sort of the topic. What advice do you give to a priest as to what watch do you get? And I mean, I am the pontiff. I'm wearing my purple shirt here. And I mean, you don't want to give a priest a bum steer. And I got to tell you, Father Richard's been incredibly good to me. And I was thinking about this. What advice do you give? So you want something that's got longevity. You want a brand that is reliable. And Father Richard said to me, Rolex. And I said, hang on a minute, Father. Let's just back the truck up. I said to him, I had a really good friend of mine who happens to be a vintage watch dealer, and he's such a cool guy. The guy wears a Lange 1815 chronograph. Cool. And I remember a couple years ago, I was in his shop having a chat about watches, and he said, you know, Paulie, the movement in the Omega Speedmaster Professional is better than anything that's in a Datejust, anything that's in sports Rolex. And that comment really shook me. I thought, wow, the Omega Speedmaster, man on the moon watch. And you think about it, it's got an amazing movement. Lemania base. Lemania made all the great movements for Patek and many watchmakers there. And it's really quite true. What is a cool watch to recommend to a priest? And I mean, you don't want to give him a bum steer. You want something that is going to last the test of time. It's going to be quality. But more importantly, I mean, the priests don't earn a fortune. You want something that is good value indeed. And I don't think it's really Rolex. I think there are some Rolex models that are really cool, but anything modern or new, it's kind of, you know, it's a bit too on the nose, I would say. I think there are some really good buys there. You've got to buy pre-owned. You cannot buy new. You cannot waltz in to a store and you can't really waltz in there and just pay retail. You've got to get a bargain. And I really do think bang per buck, the best sort of watches you can buy nowadays, the two really the best watches you could get, you would have to give points to the Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon. You'd have to give points for that. That is just such an iconic, such a classic, it's such a cool watch. And I said, you know, the other watch I would really consider a really cool watch, which I think is absolutely perfect, is the Tudor Black Bay Heritage. Tudor Black Bay Heritage. I really love the burgundy. That's kind of the one that I'd go for. I think a burgundy Tudor Black Bay Heritage. And I mean, you can get this in America 25, 26. I mean, I got this watch here 18% off retail. That's kind of, I think, the best watches. What would you recommend to a priest? And I mean, the interesting thing is with Father Richard, he's got the IWC, which has got the ETA 7750 movement in it. And I said, Father, I said, you know, I love my Ingenieur. It's kind of not on the trendy side now, you know. In the Ingenieurs, I think this is going to bounce back. I think it's going to bounce back in the next couple of years because it's got the in-house movement. I think this is, as Tim Musso on Watchbox said, this is the greatest Ingenieur that was ever made. And I'd have to agree with Tim. Tim's right on the money. I think that is an exceptional buying piece. I would argue that the 3227 with the in-house movement is better quality than Rolex. I think that is better. And I said to Father Richard, I said, look, I wouldn't be so caught into these new Rolexes because Rolex is being really nasty. They're trying to stop getting it serviced through third-party independents. So I said to him, I said, my advice, the best watch I think you can get without doubt would be the Omega Speedmaster Professional Man on the Moon. I said, buy that from Joma Shop. You get that $3,350 to $3,500 US, brand new with the big box. Make sure they give you papers with it. It's so versatile. You can put it on a NATO. You can put it on a leather strap. I got it on a leather NATO here. It just pops. The watch just pops. I think that's good bang per buck. I think for $3,350 US from Joma Shop, man, that's a bargain. I would say if you wanted something that was, say, waterproof and automatic, I think the Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon is more for the purist. But if you wanted something automatic and waterproof, Tudor Black Bay Heritage. I think this size is also better than the current Rolex ceramics. Sorry guys, I've said it. I think this is a better size. The 41, I think, is the new, that's the new size for these divers. Now, I did say to Father Richard, I said, look, if you want to go Rolex, I said, the sweet spot bang per buck wise would be a 16, a little bit small, 36 mil, a 16234. That's a steel Datejust with a white gold bezel. I reckon that is really sweet. And if you mention my name to Kenny Nguyen from Jewellers on Time, I think Kenny may be Catholic, he'd look after you. So I kind of said to him, that's what you need to do. One thing about the priests I got to tell you is I don't think they haggle as hard as I do. I really don't think they haggle like I do. So that's the only criticism is that I think some of the priests, they come in, they're always nice to people. You've got to haggle hard. You've really got to hit it and say, look guys, you've really got to try your best to get some good discounts. The problem with working in the cloth is you're not really, you're not like a Wall Street broker where you screw people over every day. You're dealing with people, you try and treat them with respect and courtesy. That's the wrong approach when it comes to getting a magnificent deal on a timepiece. You've got to be a bit of an animal! When it comes to haggling. But thankfully the grey market dealers, you know, Joma Shop, things like that, would really help you get the best deal you can. So yeah, that's kind of the way I would pitch it there. So that's advice. That's some advice for a priest. What advice on a wristwatch would you give to someone of the cloth? What advice? So I basically said, Speedmaster Man on the Moon Professional, Speedmaster Professional Man on the Moon, Tudor Black Bay Heritage. If you're gonna go Rolex, I said go for a 90s to noughties, 16234. That's my advice. Tell me what you think, guys. What would you have recommended? Now, some people are saying Papal Pateks in the 70s. Patek Philippe had an ellipse with a purple dial for members of the cloth, for the Catholic Church, for hierarchy in the Vatican. So, you know, throw me a bone, guys. Comments below and tell me what you guys think of that. Hey guys, my name is Paul Pluta. I'm the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3. Guys, I need a bit of help. It's very hard running a YouTube channel relying on Google Ads alone. I'm in a special niche and I speak my mind, and I don't have all those Seiko wannabes, all the people who want assurance about their affordable shitters. So I've got to really try hard to bring in the revenue. Guys, if you like my content, if you think I'm a great chap to have around, why don't you help me out? There's a number of ways you can help me out. This will keep me full-time on YouTube. Look in the description of this video for some ways you can help me. You could sponsor me on Patreon. That allows you to send a small monthly amount to me every month. It can be $1, it can be $100, whatever you can afford. The next way you can help me is, well guys, I really need some money to keep things going. Paid reviews. On the Paul Pluta channel, I run paid reviews. For as little as $20 US, I'll give you an opinion of your collection, of what you're looking at. I'll try and answer. There's heaps of other ways you can help me. I do telephone consultancy. For $50 US, I will talk to you on Skype or WhatsApp and answer your horological or personal problems. Any questions, I'll give it a go. Now guys, please help us out. Look down below, and if you could help us out, I will stay here and make videos full-time on YouTube.
Okay.